Hello and good day to all you wonderful folks out there. It's certainly been a while, so to everyone who stayed subscribed and hope to hear from me again, thank you very much. To get back into things, I decided that this spankily fresh new video would be about a childhood favorite of mine, and why not throw in a lesser regarded sequel while I'm at it. I am Torstein from CinemaTerror, and this is my review of The Hidden from 1987 and its sequel, The Hidden 2 from 1993.
Bye.
I guess a career in the police didn't really prepare you for this, did it?
The Hidden.
The Hidden starts off with a bang, throwing us straight into a bank robbery and a high-speed car chase. The mayhem doesn't stop when the assailant is gunned down by the police. Instead, seemingly random violence spreads across the city like a virus. The cops are left scratching their heads, as there doesn't appear to be any rhyme or reason to which people suddenly starts acting violently. One person who does seem to understand what's going on though is FBI agent Lloyd Gulager. Gulager arrives at the local police station, requesting to work with lead detective Thomas Beck. As they attempt to track down each person who mysteriously turns into a bloodthirsty criminal, Beck begins to suspect that Gulager isn't being completely honest with him. And for good reason, as the cause of this never-ending wave of violence turns out to be something from a completely different planet. The Hidden takes the concept of alien beings hiding inside human bodies and makes it unmistakably 1980s. There's no mystery here, we as viewers are informed very quickly about what's really going on. Instead, the filmmakers go all in on making the movie as entertaining as possible, packing it with action, humor, and characters we genuinely care about. There's no attempt at high art or self-importance. Everything is done to give the audience maximum enjoyment, almost as a thank you for choosing this film for today's entertainment. The alien slug thingy is fantastic. It exists purely to cause destruction, not because it has anything against the human race per se, but simply because it enjoys it. It wants to indulge in all the finer things humanity has to offer: fast cars, women, and heavy metal. And it doesn't care who or how many it hurts along the way. You could interpret it as a commentary on the worst aspects of humanity if you want, even though the film itself doesn't seem overly concerned with subtext or deeper meaning.
Thank you. Bye.
The two leads are both excellent and play off each other extremely well. Michael Nouri stars as Beck, while MacLachlan plays Gulager, and together they perfectly nail the classic 1980s action buddy cop dynamic. Beck is the aggressive, macho type, while Gulager is calm and clean-cut. However, the film avoids some of the more obvious clichés. Beck actually has a solid family life, while it's Gulager who carries the heavier emotional baggage. We spend enough time with both characters to understand and care about them, which makes us want to see them succeed in stopping this alien threat. I will say though that I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the ending, but I won't spoil it by going into details here. Even though the alien jumps from body to body, there are still several memorable performances from the actors portraying its host. William Boyett is the one I always remember the most fondly, and fans of Babylon 5 will also want to check this out to see Claudia Christian as Brenda, a stripper who becomes the host for the relentless alien slug. A lot of praise also has to go to the people behind the camera, especially director Jack Sholder. He is one of those filmmakers who work consistently for many years without ever having a massive breakthrough hit. Yet his filmography contains several titles that genre fans have gotten a lot of enjoyment out of. Movies like A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Alone in the Dark, and Wishmaster 2 are good examples. Sholder himself has said that The Hidden is his favorite film of his, and I can completely understand why, and even agree. The action scenes are handled extremely well, and the special effects still holds up today. The alien slug itself is genuinely disgusting, and the idea of it slithering down your throat is enough to send chills up and down your spine or even your throat. The film has that special charm where everything feels very 1980s, yet it doesn't come across as dated for first-time viewers today. This also gives it the rare quality of remaining fresh and fun even on repeated viewings.
Bye.
And yes, it probably has to be mentioned that the alien slug bears a strong resemblance to what would later appear in Jason Goes to Hell. It's been claimed that the filmmakers behind that movie hadn't seen The Hidden, but considering that both films were produced by New Line Cinema, you'd think someone might have noticed the similarities. Not that it really matters all that much in the end. The Hidden nearly doubled its modest $5 million production budget during its initial theatrical run, before becoming a staple of the home video market. While it falls a bit short of the truly iconic sci-fi action films of the 1980s, like RoboCop or The Terminator, it's an excellent choice for anyone who's already seen the big ones and wants something a little different. It may not be the smartest movie ever made, but it absolutely delivers where it counts: entertainment. They really don't make them like this anymore, and I can happily give it a strong recommendation. The Hidden earns a solid 4 out of 5. 6 years would come and go before the alien slug turned up again, this time in a direct-to-video sequel simply titled The Hidden 2.
Nothing.
They live forever. The Hidden 2.
Now do you believe me?
The sequel begins with a nearly 15-minute long recap of the ending of the first film, with just a small detail changed. It turns out that the alien slug from the first film was not completely eliminated. An adorable little dog had stolen a small piece of it from the crime scene, giving the alien a new warm body in which to lie dormant and grow. 15 years pass by, and we see Thomas Beck, or rather his alien-inhabited body, sitting alone in a room. It's clear that things did not work out as expected by the end of the first film, and Beck, or whatever I should call him now, has been waiting impatiently, preparing for a new hunt against the evil slug. The reunion between the two does not end well, but thankfully for humankind, Beck is able to call for backup before he's put down for the final time.
Gotta go. Bye.
I've already sent for backup.
It didn't help last time. You lose, sucker.
A new alien slug hunter arrives on Earth, seeking out Juliet Beck, Thomas Beck's daughter, as he feels she's the only one that can be trusted with the truth. Together, they form a new duo, the only ones capable of taking on the evil alien slug once and for all. If the first Hidden could be compared to a crazy, coke-fueled 1980s roller coaster ride, then the Hidden 2 is a day after, specifically the hours before getting out of bed, filled with regret and sweat before hitting the showers. Both films reflect the respective decades. The Hidden is an action-packed B-movie that even by today's standards might even have been shown in cinemas, while The Hidden 2 is a cheaply assembled product, doomed to gather dust in video stores, hoping someone will make the connection to the first film and have enough fun memories of it to give it a chance, either as a cheap purchase or as a rental. The unnecessarily long recap of the first film's ending gives a clear idea of what to expect with The Hidden 2, a cheaply made, quickly slapped together project. The story is nothing to write home about, with little new material to expand or take the story in interesting directions. It is serviceable enough to be able to slap the Hidden 2 title on it and attract genre fans who aren't particularly picky about how they spend 90 minutes of their lives. Like me. It's easy to see how the story is structured around this low budget. You have the opening, which is mostly reused footage from the first film, a sequence in a warehouse, scenes between the new alien hunter and Juliet in her apartment, a long rave sequence in a warehouse, more apartment scenes, and a final climax in the warehouse. There are a few other locations, but that's about it. While the first film didn't have a massive scale either, the comparison between the two are still stark. A low budget can be compensated for, but sadly, The Hidden 2 is also lacking the fun element of the first film. This sequel feels darker, slower and moodier, with almost no comedic relief. The characters also feel uninspired. Raphael Sbarge, portrays a new alien hunter, and while he doesn't have as much to work with as Kyle MacLachlan did in the first film, he still manages to carry over some of the extraterrestrial characteristics from MacLachlan's performance.
What about my father was hidden?
That he was not of this planet.
Right. And I suppose you're an alien too?
Yes.
However, most of his knowledge about the human race is removed in the second half to attempt a cutesy romance between him and Juliet, portrayed by Kate Hodge, and it falls absolutely flat. To make matters worse, the alien explains that the body he inhabits belonged to a human who had just died, meaning Juliet is essentially romancing a corpse. Lovely. I should note though, that Hodge does a good job with the limited material she is given, so the main duo does help elevate the weak script somewhat. Even though I'm critical of the film, it isn't a total waste of time. The acting isn't bad, and the special effects are decent. The gooey alien slugs remain icky and delightfully disgusting, and we also see them in their cocoon form, which is slimy and fun. The film has a classic 90s direct-to-video feel that many of us now view with nostalgia, and regardless of the movie's quality, it is still enjoyable to revisit those times.
I said I like the car, motherfucker. Go ahead, try me.
I couldn't find much information about screenwriter and director Seth Pinsker. It seems he had previously done some shorts and commercials before being tasked with this feature. It wasn't uncommon for New Line Cinema to give opportunities to inexperienced filmmakers at the time, and while that is commendable, the final product might have benefited from some help with the script before shooting. Pinsker did not go on to direct any more feature-length films. Perhaps this experience was the reason, or maybe opportunities simply didn't arise. The Hidden 2 came and went with little fanfare. While it went straight to video in most parts of the world, it did receive a small theatrical run in Japan. I remember picking up a VHS copy for a few dollars when a local video store closed here in Norway, and the VHS cover left a stronger impression on me than the movie itself. According to my Letterboxd account, I watched it again a few years ago, but still it left little impression. While not a total waste of time, viewers should know exactly what they're getting into. The Hidden 2 earns a low score of 2 out of 5. And that concludes the Hidden duology. I'd be surprised if it ever gets a remake, but you never know. Considering the number of 80s films that have been resurrected, it wouldn't be a terrible idea, but not something I would be all that enthusiastic about either. I've said enough, so now it's your turn. Share your thoughts on The Hidden and its sequel in the comment section below. Finally, a quick update regarding my channel hiatus. After a rough period, I'm now an adult student studying to become a data analyst, a goal I will be working to achieve over the next 2 years. Free time will be scarce, but I do plan to keep the channel active, perhaps aiming for 1 video per month. No promises, but I will update you if I ever completely abandon it, I promise. So thank you for sticking around, I hope you all have a great Christmas and a happy New Year's. And as always, thank you for watching CinemaTerror.